Hey guys, welcome to It's a Bronx Story.
Podcast by two lifelong Yankee fans about all things Yankees.
So, we just came off our live stream of Game 3 of the Blue Jays series. Unfortunately, the Yankees didn't win, but they did win the series against the Blue Jays. So, we'll talk all about that series, and then we'll also talk about Robinson Cano getting DFA'd by the Mets, as well as we'll touch briefly on MadBum getting ejected, just kind of our thoughts about the umpire situation as a whole there. But yeah, so jumping into the first game of the J series. Like we came into the series hoping for a series win. I mean, a sweep would be cool just to keep winning, but
Mhm.
we ultimately just wanted to win the series. Getting the win in Toronto against the Blue Jays would be great for the team right
Yeah,
now.
yeah. So the series, how it lined up was Monty versus Stripling. We figured, we should be able to win that game. Then it was Tyone versus Manoa, and we figured we'll lose that game. And then the rubber game would be, Kikuchi versus Cortez, and we should win that game. So we figured, two out of three, we should be able to win, and that's all we really want. A series win is all we want.
Yeah, and then so yeah, going the first game was um an an interesting one. Uh, it's it was a low scoring game, which has been like kind of the theme of the Blue Jays this year, like close, low scoring games, which is kind of the opposite of what you would expect.
Yeah, they won a ton of one-run games, and that's just kind of shocking that you would think that they would be blowing guys out just with their offense, but it just hasn't really clicked yet for them.
Yeah. But Monty, I mean, overall, he had a pretty good start of 5 innings pitched, 2 earned runs, 5 strikeouts, no walks.
Mhm.
And the 2 earned runs came in the fourth inning off of, it was a double from uh, Bo Bichette that did the double score. I think it was,
It scored Springer because
yeah.
Springer was on base. I think he walked.
Yeah, I think Matt Chapman got like kind of a lazy single through the middle that Glaber almost caught, but then it was
Mhm.
just hit soft enough that it was a free
Yeah,
run once it got to the outfield.
that tied the game because at the top of the fourth, Glaber hit a two-run home run to give the Yankees a 2-0 lead
Hmm.
at that point.
Yeah, and then from there out, it was kind of until from the fifth to the eighth. Monty finished off the fifth, but then it was kind of the two bullpens just going at it. Uh,
Mhm.
Loizaga, Miguel Castro both looked good. Clay Holmes looked good.
Mhm.
So our bullpen looked good, and we faced David Phelps, Trevor Richards, and Adam Simber. Which
Mhm.
Simber's the submarine guy, which this team never seems to be able to hit submarine guys. But
Yeah.
yeah, it was basically just the bullpens locking both the offenses down, and then we got to the
Mhm.
ninth inning, and I'll let you cover what happened there.
With Yimi? Well, yeah. So Yimi started the inning, and then you know, uh, sorry, I'm watching the Red Sox game as we're doing this.
Oh, well,
But Stanton singles, and then they pinch run it for Tim LaCastro, and I've been saying this for the longest time. It's just I like having speed on the Yankees team. It just changes things, and just like that, Tim LaCastro steals second, and that really gets the inning going because if he's not pinch running, the Yankees don't score in that inning because Glaber singles scores him, but Stan was not going to score on that. He was not going to steal. He was not going to score. Like without that pinch run, we don't score that run, and it's just a nice dynamic for the Yankees to have.
yeah, and Glaber had 3 RBIs this game. Great game
Mhm.
for
The
him,
whole
and
offense.
yeah, he was the whole offense. And then Chad Green came in for the save, which is a nerve wracking experience, but he
But it
got
was
it
the
done.
bottom of the lineup when he
Hmm.
came in, so you feel good. It's always the thing is with Green is that he's kind of homer prone, but facing the bottom of the lineup, you feel good about it.
Yeah. Yeah, and he was able to get the job done. So we win the game, and the win streak goes to 11. and we're feeling good winning the first game of the series. And then the
Hmm.
second game was the one that Jatinder had mentioned. It was Manoa versus Tyone. That's kind of, you give the favor to Manoa in that one, definitely. He's always had the Yankees number, and
Hmm.
this game was really no different. They worked his pitch count enough that he only pitched 6 innings, but he gave up 1 run, 7 strikeouts. So
Hmm.
he did pitch well, but his 1 run was an incredible at bat from Judge. He
Yeah.
went down 0-2, spit on 3 sliders, fouled off a couple pitches. Uh, during the fouled off a couple fastballs during that at bat, and then took him deep. And during this, he started the at bat with Hicks on first, and then Hicks got
Hmm.
caught stealing, which it could what could have been 2-0 or 2-1 at that point. The Blue Jays scored 1 run off of a Bo Bichette
Tyone.
double.
Yeah,
Yeah, off
Tyone
Tyone.
was matching Manoa 0 for 0 for a while there. We were only down 1-0 when Judge hit the home run. But
Yeah.
yeah, Manoa was shutting us down that whole time. Like we just got nothing. We had something in the first inning. We had a hit and a walk, so we had runners on base. But after that inning, we did nothing.
Yeah, no, it was kind of a bullpen versus bullpen because both starters went 6 innings and gave up 1 run. So
Hmm.
it's bullpen versus bullpen again. At that point, tied 1-1. And then the seventh inning, things got kind of crazy. There was, I believe, now I gotta think of who did everything. I think it Stanton that they were trying to double up Stanton, were they?
It was so Stain led off the inning. And he
Okay,
hit
yeah,
it to the shortstop, and the shortstop kind of like the ball kind of like
yeah,
went up, like he just couldn't handle it, and then he threw it to Vlad, and they called him safe. So that's how everything started. It started with that
yeah,
error. I think it was ruled an error because there's no way they ruled that a hit, but it started off that error, and then the Blue Jays kind of challenged it, and they thought Vlad was still on first, and he was not. There was no evidence that showed me that Vlad was on the bag for it to be ruled an out. So they
hmm
kind of lose their challenge there.
yeah, and that turned out to be huge because the inning kept going, and then was
It,
the run from Marwin was not, no, Donaldson got a double.
Stan stayed in the game.
Yeah,
Donaldson hit a double, but the way he hit the double, it wasn't like just a normal double. Like
yeah.
it split the gaps, and like
So
the center fielder couldn't get it. So Stan was actually able to score from first
yeah, I think it was
to home.
Lourdes Gurriel tried to cut the ball off
Yeah, he
before it
slid.
got to the
Yep.
wall, and he slid and missed it. So then Stanton was
Hmm.
able to score from first, and
Hmm.
that started things. And then Marwin got another double in
Hmm.
that inning to score Donaldson,
Yep.
and then later on in the inning, there was a was it bases? I don't think the bases were loaded, but I think Hicks hit like a ground ball, and
Hmm. It was runners on, I think, first and third because it was IKF on base, and then Hicks had them on first and third. They throw it to to
Kirk.
right. Yeah, that's right because he singled to was was IKF at third? No, he must have been on second because if he was on third, he would have scored easily.
Marwin was on third.
But didn't I'm trying.
It was a ground ball in the infield, and Marwin was going home,
Yeah,
and they
yeah, yeah.
threw it home, and then Marwin got himself in a pickle,
Hmm.
and um, he ended up he quote unquote ended up avoiding the tag, ended up scoring on it, and since the Blue Jays already lost their challenge, it was ruled safe on the field, so they couldn't challenge it. But in the
Hmm.
replay, it was clear as day that Vlad tagged him, as well as Marwin probably ran out of the base path, so he should have been out, but they
Hmm.
couldn't challenge it, so he ended up
Yeah.
being safe. And then after that, um, it kind of just kept going. Judge hit a rocket double that scored
Hmm.
some more runs. Um, I think Rizzo got another hit that scored another run.
I
Um,
think after Judge, that was
oh
that
no,
was
that
it.
was it
It,
after
it was
Judge.
yeah.
Yeah, and then wait, how did Trevino get an RBI? I think Trevino was the one that hit that. The thing with Marwin.
Oh, okay. So it was bases loaded then.
Yeah, I can't remember exactly, but yeah. So then our bullpen was lights out again, and in the ninth inning, Stanton hit a 2-run home run to kind of. It was already
Hmm
7-1. It was already pretty much game over, but that put it way out of
hmm
reach. In this game, we used Wandy, Miguel Castro, and Litke, so kind of our bottom three guys. So the everyone in the bullpen was really ready to go for
Yeah,
game three. I mean, we felt good. This is 11 games in a row. We won the series. Game three is
yeah.
kind of just like the
You're playing with
cherry
house
on
money at
top.
this
Yeah.
point, you know?
Like if you lose this game, like it stings to
Hmm
if to lose that game, but like at the same time, if you win, that's a sweep. That's huge.
Yeah.
But like you can
Especially
live
this
with
time of the
just the
year.
series win.
Yep. Yep. That's what we wanted to start the series. You want the series win. You just keep winning series. That's how you win the division. Just win series.
Yeah.
So we did.
Yep. Yeah, and then today it was another low scoring game. We had Nestor versus Kikuchi, which you would give the advantage to Nestor in that one.
Hmm
Um, but he gave up 2 runs, which is kind of uncharacteristic for Nestor. And it's one of them was a solo home run to Matt Chapman, and then the other one was he just gave up a
Kind
couple hard hits in a row,
of.
and
He
they
just
got
didn't
one
have
run.
his best stuff. He was walking guys. He didn't,
Yeah,
he didn't look like himself. He got through it, giving up 2 runs, but he only went 4 innings. He got his pitch count up high because of those 4 walks. I think to end the game, like he was at what 87 through 4,
yeah,
about something like that.
yeah. And against Kikuchi, our only offense was a Joey Gallo solo home run, which obviously is
hmm
good to see.
Which
Gallo's
he's back
starting
in the
to,
lineup now, so
yep,
that's nice.
Gallo's starting to heat up a little bit.
Hmm
And then again came down to the bullpen. Mike King came in, pitched
What a
three
performance!
innings, 9 up, 9 down, no hits, no walks, 3 strikeouts. Like not enough can be said about Mike King. Um,
Just an ace reliever right there.
yeah,
Just a guy that can just come in. Like Cortez goes 4 innings, so like me and Ryan during the live cast, we were just like, so how we're gonna cover these innings? Like we feel good about our bullpen, but like how we're gonna cover these innings, and King, does it himself. He
yeah,
covers those innings for us.
yeah. So King single handedly kept us in the game the whole time, 2-1 this whole
Hmm
time, and the Yankees had their
hmm
opportunities and
Yeah.
just couldn't get done. There was a situation where Higgy got a leadoff double in the sixth inning, I believe, sixth or
hmm
seventh inning, and DJ hit a ground ball to move him over. So his third guy on third, 1 out. Judge is up. Judge ends up getting struck out on a 3-2 pitch that's wasn't a strike. It was below the zone.
hmm
So I mean that was kind of a brutal way to get the second out, and then Rizzo popped out in the infield
Yeah.
for the final out. So that was
But imagine, yeah, runners on first and third, 1 out in the sixth inning with Rizzo up on. I know he
yeah
ended up popping up, but that kind of changes the way that inning goes. You would
yeah.
think.
Yeah, and then the Yankees kept fighting again. And the eighth inning, with Judge up again, it they called a pitch that was like 4 inches inside, wasn't even close to a strike. They called a strike on a 2-0 pitch. So instead
Hmm
of the count going to 3-0, it's now 2-1, and then they give him a borderline pitch below the zone to bring it to 2-2, and Judge
Even
ends
in
up.
even in the seventh, the Yankees had runners on. They walked in the seventh to kind of set things up. So like they had runners there. Me and Ryan in the live cast were saying like we don't want to go to the ninth facing Romano just because he's a really good closer. Like you want to do something in those innings. And we
Mhm.
had our opportunities. We just didn't do it.
Yeah, it was just a rough runners in scoring position day.
Hmm
Um, so then we go into the ninth facing Romano down 1 run, and
hmm
things got real interesting. There's definitely a lot of stress on both
hmm
sides in this inning.
Yeah. So it was Rizzo to start the inning off because we were saying how there's a lefty versus the righty. You kind of like that matchup, but he, ends up flying out. And then Stanton does the same thing that he did Friday night. Sorry, Friday night. Monday night. He gets a single, and then Castro comes in to pinch run, and you're kind of thinking, okay, let him steal second and score on a hit. Romano's is pretty quick to home plate. It was not an easy steal opportunity for Castro.
Yeah, and the Castro didn't end up stealing, and Donaldson was up to bat, and he ended up hitting a single through through the third base and shortstop hole. And I mean, it would have been he hit it hard, so it would have been close if LeCastro
Mm-hmm.
was able to steal and was on second at this point. It would have
Mm-hmm.
been really close to tying up the game. He might have been able to get there.
Mm-hmm.
Gurriel has a good arm, but it's it would have been a close play, and that would have been crazy. But it was first and second with one out at that point,
Yep.
and then who's up
Hicks.
now? Hicks, yeah.
Hicks.
Hicks ends up. He walk or did he?
He's
No, he
he
struck
struck
out.
he
Yep.
struck out because he was like,
Yeah,
come
Hicks
on.
took two hanging curveballs, and
Mm-hmm.
then just ended up striking out on the
Yep.
third or fourth pitch or whatever. But then you give up. Gallo comes up with two outs, and he ends up working a walk, which was really good
Really
to see
good.
from
Yeah.
Gallo.
Mm-hmm.
So now it's bases loaded, two outs with IKF up to the plate,
And
and
we know what he does against elite closers in these type of situations,
yeah,
right?
he almost
He
took Class A deep,
yeah.
uh, but he ends up hitting a chopper to third base, and it got really interesting because Chapman's throw wasn't very good,
Yeah.
and then Vlad Guerrero was like doing the splits and almost didn't get the scoop, and that would have tied the game, but Vlad ended up
Almost
making the
similar
play.
to yesterday's game where, was his foot off the bag. It was on the bag, but
Mm-hmm.
it kind of shows you like if they would have, it's the other situation. Like if they would have called it an out in yesterday's game, there would not have been enough evidence. Even though here, I think it was clear to me that he was on first, but
Mm-hmm.
maybe it's like you just stick with what the call was called on the field.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the splits was kind of amazing too that he even did that. Like
Yeah,
those were full splits.
yeah, but nice play by him. Uh,
Good pitching by
yeah,
us though. I was saying it like we held them to 5 runs total in the
yeah,
series. Like if you said that in just one game, you're like that's pretty good. You held them. You did that over 3 games. That's what 1.5 runs per game.
yeah.
Something like that, one
That's
point six.
something like that. But
Yeah.
not enough good things can be said about the pitching.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it it's tough because like if we were to lose the first game of the series and then win the next two, this would be like a much happier episode. But it's
Mm-hmm.
just like we had the chance to get the sweep and go on a 12-game winning streak and all of this fun stuff, and we just
Mm-hmm.
barely lost.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of defeating. But we're
Mm-hmm.
still in first place by 2.5 games. Like we've
Yeah.
built a really good start for ourselves, and now who do we have coming up?
We have the Rangers.
A 3-game series, right?
Mhm. We don't play tomorrow.
Oh, I
Tomorrow's
forgot
yeah.
about that.
Yeah, we don't play tomorrow, unfortunately, so nothing there, but we play Friday against the Rangers. We play the Rangers and then I think we have that quick series against the Blue Jays.
Yeah, yeah. So hopefully we can sweep the Rangers, continue our like domination of bad teams. That would be,
Mm-hmm.
but we need to win that series. And then if we could take both games against Toronto at home, that would be
Mm-hmm.
really ideal. But at least take one of them.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like I'm happy with the series win, and like looking forward to the Rangers series. We have Cole, Sevy, and Monty, so that should be like again kind of like the Detroit series. We have our three best
Royals
pitchers, or
series.
yeah, Royals. We
Yeah.
have our three best pitchers going, so It should just be like the Royal Series. You should just win all three
Hmm.
and keep rolling.
Yeah, I agree. I think on paper we have a good series coming up, and that's just what's crazy about our rotation is that you feel good about every single guy going out there. Like
Yeah.
right now with the way our rotation is, like I feel confident in throwing anyone there and them matching the next guy 0 for 0.
Yeah.
And then our bullpen, that's even more lights out. You have King doing his thing. You have, Clay Holmes. Like, how do you hit his sinker right now? I don't know how you hit that.
Yeah. It's the team's playing well. Um, so yeah, that's kind of that's this series and kind of talking about. I guess we can start with MadBum because it's a kind of a quick thing. If you didn't see it, he got ejected from a game for kind of talking back to an ump, but the ump was checking his hand for sticky stuff like they do with every pitcher. And the Marlins pitcher Hernandez, when he came out, it was kind of just like a super quick like feel his hand, blah blah, you're done.
Mm-hmm.
But when MadBum came out after the first, it was he stared MadBum in the eyes the entire time and took like 30 seconds to check his hand while
Mm-hmm.
staring at MadBum the entire time. And
Kind of baiting
MadBum,
him.
yeah, he was definitely, it was a power trip. He wanted MadBum to say something. For whatever
Mm-hmm.
reason, he wanted to throw MadBum out of the game and like see if he could get a reaction out of him,
Mm-hmm.
and he did. MadBum got thrown out in the first inning. It's ridiculous because now the Diamondbacks bullpen is screwed because some ump decided to take a power trip.
Yeah.
It's There's
Yeah.
no reason for him to check MadBum like that. Like look at his hand, check his hand, but you don't need to just stare at MadBum the entire time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That was like I didn't like I saw the videos later. I just saw like the notification. I just saw he got ejected. I assumed they just found sticky stuff on him, and I was like, okay, yeah, like nothing of it. Like I mean, I guess it is kind of big news if a guy gets ejected for sticky stuff because he would be what the third guy found like that.
Mm-hmm.
But especially Mad Bum with his reputation. But like I didn't really think anything of it. I just thought it was just a normal, routine check. They found something, they ejected him, but it was not really routine.
Yeah, yeah. It was frustrating. But yeah, it's the ump show. We all know about the ump show. It's reared
Boone
its
got
ugly head in the
ejected this
Yankee.
game
Yep.
too.
Yeah, so
So
we forgot to mention that after that horrible call against Aaron Judge, Boone got ejected because this ump was just horrible all game, both sides. It was
Boone got
just
his money's
bad.
worth in
Oh
that
yeah,
in that.
that was more intense than the Savages in the box ejection.
I want to see just what was said
Yeah,
there. Like, the umpire kind of like fought back too
yeah,
with his like he was chirping. So I want to see what was said between them.
yeah. And the final topic for today is the Robinson Cano ended up getting DFA'd by the Mets.
Mm-hmm.
It's surprising only for the name and the amount of money that Cano
Mm-hmm.
is. Like, if you only look at the way he's been playing, it's not surprising, but
Mm-hmm.
he's cost like 30 or 40 million,
Yeah,
and
40 million.
it's Robinson Cano.
Mm-hmm.
So it was the right move, but
Yeah.
it's definitely noteworthy that Robinson Cano got DFA'd.
Yeah, it's like he was my pick for the next, 3,000 hit guy. Just the way his swing, it just seemed perfect. Like he was the guy. Then, the suspension, that clearly derailed it. He's not the same player. They weren't going to send down Dominic Smith. So, in a way, it's not shocking. It's only shocking because of the money reason, because you
Yeah,
would think they would give him a longer leash just because they owe him this much money, but they clearly don't see him turning it around. And I don't think he's going to turn it around either. It'll be
yeah.
interesting to see which team he might latch on to. Do you see him going to another team?
I like I don't know if I do because he's not like an Albert
Mm-hmm.
Pujols where he
Mm-hmm.
has like he's not going back to the Yankees and he's not going
Yeah,
back to the
we have enough
Mariners.
infielders. Yeah, we're
So
not.
like
Yeah,
no, he doesn't have any home team to go back to, and
yeah.
he's not good enough to warrant how much he costs. Like he's not some
Well,
old
he
guy.
would he would be well. I
Oh,
would
that's
think he
true.
would clear
Yeah,
waivers and then
yeah.
he'll sign league minimum. But like maybe the Reds,
Yeah, I could
maybe.
see like him going league minimum to a rebuilding team just to sell tickets.
Yeah, yeah.
But
I mean, but most likely, go go on a beach in the Dominican, collect
yeah,
your paycheck, call it a career,
yeah,
don't retire officially because I guess you lose out on all that money, but go on a beach in the DR and just, enjoy the rest of life.
yeah. Stay in quote unquote baseball shape.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm yeah. And this anything else that you want to talk about?
I think that's it. I can't it's kind of been a long day just doing that live stream, but I
Yeah,
don't
we
think
were.
there's anything I
Yeah,
don't think there's anything uh in the news around MLB that I want to talk about.
yeah. It's been a long one. We were live for the entire game, so like 3 hours, and
Mhm.
so this will be a short episode, perfect for your
Mhm.
drive to work. Um, and as always, if you enjoyed the episode, leave a rating or review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you listen. If you're watching on YouTube, leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see more. Remember to check us out on Twitter and Instagram at the Bronx Story. And as always, let's go Yanks.
Let's play ball. May the fourth be with you.
All right, see you guys.